Well, great. Thank you very much. Got quite a few questions coming in actually. So we'll go straight to them because we've only got 10 minutes initially. The first question then is it also possible to use the method to test air leakage of ductwork of HVAC systems?
No, not directly. I think I think that's a bit of a problem, because then you have to I don't know, you have to place your ATT in the ductwork, and then I'm not sure what you are measuring. We haven't tested that.
Okay. So then is the method yet to be recognized by Dutch building regulations and building codes, or is it already in?
We are here in a I'm not so good at it as Luke has been. I haven't undertaken all sort of contact with universities, and I'm a bit in a chicken egg position in the Netherlands, because people say it's not in the standard, so they won't try it, and if they won't try it, it will never get in the standard. And they always ask, is it in the standard? And I say, no, it's a new method, so how can it be in the standard? Please try it and tell me if it's good enough. But I need to find some official way to get this done.
I think it sounds like you and Luke should have a chat.
We had some chats already, but
all right. So what we were wondering then, how many buildings has the method been tested in so far?
Well, all the dots that you saw in the graph are buildings, and that's 2018 and 2019, and it's close to 200 houses now.
Right. Is the work published anywhere, Nick?
Yes, there are some AIVC publications. We presented it at the symposia in Juan-le-Pin and in Ghent, I think. So, and there are posters of it. And there is an official also publication in that magazine that came after Ghent, I think.
Okay, so then it would be good to draw the attention of those who joined the webinar to airbase at AIVC.org, and I'm sure if you search for Nick's name, then the papers should come up on airbase for all to see.
I can send the links also later in the. I'm not sure if I can find them directly, but they should be on the AIVC website.
Yes. So also feel free to post them in the chat.
Yeah. So
with the method, have you done a sensitivity analysis, and what do you think your largest sources of uncertainty are?
Well, there are in fact three things. Of course, your delta P measurement has an uncertainty. We have done a very extensive uncertainty analysis on it, because, and we also did quite a bit of work on uncertainty analysis of blower door in order to be able to compare them properly. You don't compare two numbers, but you compare two ranges. Mm. And the measurement itself, delta P and the flow rate, are of course should be measured properly, but the biggest uncertainty, so to speak, is of course your flow exponent. And if you are with your pressure close to the reference pressure, then your flow exponent is less important. But if those are way off from each other, and you have a special house with a high flow or a low flow exponent, then those are your sources of uncertainty, your biggest.
Okay. Are there limits to the procedure? So, for example, what is the minimum flow rate for a ventilation system? Ventilation system would need in order to get this to work. So I guess the questioner is French, because it says in France the maximum extracted airflow rate for single houses is usually around 150 cubic meters per hour. Is that enough?
Yeah, depends. Well, it's always enough, because if the house doesn't give any signal to delta P at 150 cubic meters per hour, you at least know that it is not tight. You don't know the number, you don't know the exact number, but if it doesn't give a signal, the exact number is not so important anymore. It's just a lousy house.
Right.
Then if the house is very tight, then you will get an excellent number with 150 cubic meters per hour.
Okay.
So we're not dependent of that. We're the guy that wrote all the software, he lives in The Hague in a very old apartment, and he used his kitchen exhaust to do a test. And the house was as leaky as could be, and he saw a signal of 1 Pascal. but he really still saw a signal.
Yes. So there's a colleague who says that the method looks somewhat like the delta Q test in ASTM standard 1554. Does that mean anything to you? He then says, how does the ATT method distinguish between envelope leaks and air handling system leaks?
I don't know that test. What I do know is that it also looks a lot like the 4 Pascal test that Germany does for open fireplaces. It looks like that. And the distinguishing, well, since you are using the air handling system, you have it at full, running at full speed. I don't think the air handling system leaks. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to say. It depends on how you use the air handling system, if you are measuring them also, but to distinguish, we haven't done that yet. We don't know yet how to do that.
I think, if I'm right, the delta Q test includes a blower door additionally to the ventilation system. So you mix blower door and ventilation system that is on, off, test, no test, and so that's how you distinguish it. But it's not exactly what you do, I think.
No. It's a bit like what Luc was saying about the pulse test combined with the ventilation system and not combined with the ventilation system. And with us, that's not possible because you are using the ventilation system.
Great. Well, we've reached the end of our questions for this session, so we'll just go into the next talk. Thanks very much, Nick. Hopefully there'll be more questions towards the end when we come back to all presenters together.
Sure.
Our next speaker is Bénédicte Koch from CEREMA and DRR en France, who will talk about novel infrared and acoustic methods.